Welcome to week 4 of Education 406 Integrated Reading. Let's take just a few minutes and look at our syllabus for our learning outcomes and assessments and tasks for week 4. That way we can touch base on what we're going to be working on and what our measures are. So in week 4, you are going to identify effective instructional plans regarding activating, connecting, and building background knowledge, questioning, visualizing, and inferring. And you're also going to reflect on strategies for differentiation of reading instructional strategies that are referenced above. So differentiating those, not just those effective instructional plans. So you have 2 tasks. Your interactive notebook has a couple different levels on it, but you are going to have your discussion board and then your interactive notebook where you will debrief chapters 8, 9, and 10. So if we go into week 4 of your weekly content, you'll see your discussion board post. So in chapters 8 through 10, Harvey and Goodvie speak to several strategies for reading comprehension. They talk about activating, connecting, and building background knowledge. They talk about questioning and visualizing and inferring. So I want you to choose one of those strategies. If someone else has already completed this discussion board protocol, don't use something that they've already used. So, and respond to the following protocol. What are 3 things that you learned about that strategy? What are 2 things that you want to remember for your classroom? And what is 1 question that you still have about that strategy or about implementing it in your classroom? So you are going to pick one of those. And again, remember that if a colleague or a peer has already answered using one of those strategies, you need to pick a different one so we're not duplicating. And then you need to post and then reply to 2 of your peer posts as well. Now your interactive notebook, remember, is in week 1, and so we will go there to access your notebook. And then we'll be able to go to week 4 to see what our tasks are. And we're really spending this time focusing on strategy lessons. So again, activating, connecting, building background knowledge, questioning, and visualizing and inferring. So the task is pretty much the same for each of these. For each of those, you need to pull out those strategy lessons, and then you're going to basically create a list, a reference list for those lessons where you're summarizing the main points of the lesson. So a bullet point list. So for activating, connecting, and building background knowledge, there's 9 strategy lessons. So in your answer here, you can bullet point your 9 lessons where you're giving a summary of the main points of that lesson. And the same here for your strategy lessons on questioning. There's 12. And then for visualizing and inferring, there's 17. So, these are going to be long lists, but I want them to be useful lists. So put any information in here that you feel is important that you may want to pull back and reference as you start your career in your classroom, and even as you get into field experiences where you're having to lesson plan in reading. So your total tasks, you have a lot of pieces this week, but it's just your discussion board and your notebook are your 2 kind of big rocks that you need to tackle. And so once you finish your discussion board protocol, then you can work on bullet pointing these strategy lessons so that this becomes a reference tool for you. So not a lot of directions this week because it's a lot of the same work, your discussion board you're used to. And then even though you have 3 sections of your interactive notebook to complete for week 4, it's the same task for each section. It's just different strategy lesson areas. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, that is all that I have for you for week 4. Thank you.